So this is a basic ZTE phone that we've got Firefox OS loaded onto. You can see when it comes up that it looks very much like a typical smartphone. It's got the things you'd expect to see. It's got all the standard apps for dialing or sending text messages. I mean, the things you'd expect from a telephone. Maybe not the things you'd expect from the web, though. There's several prepackaged applications like Facebook to recognize the fact that today's web is a very social place. Now, the internet in here is awfully slow, so it takes a second to come up. But as you saw during the press conference, Facebook features, social features in general, are woven right into the way that we build it. And of course, the entire product is built using HTML5 technologies, using web-based technologies. So whether it's social networking, browsing using the Firefox browser, or even playing games like Pop It here, this is all built out of HTML, JavaScript, CSS, stuff that millions of developers around the world already know how to work with. And that's something that's very different from the other platforms, right? I think you tend to see with these native platforms, people are very proud to get to 100,000 developers, but there's 10 million web developers out there. Yeah. So this is all stuff that's been built using the web, and you can see it's just as interactive and feature-rich as you'd expect from a smartphone. And yet, because we're built of the web, because Firefox is a non-profit, we're not in this to monetize in the same way or to lock in the same way. We've actually built a technology stack which is very high performance and can run on pretty affordable hardware. So in the first market, even though what you're seeing is a typical smartphone experience, the price points here that we're hearing from a lot of our operator partners and a lot of our manufacturers are going to set them up to compete with feature phones. So you got 2 billion people coming online in the next little while. As Gary mentioned when he was up on stage, they can't afford $700 smartphones, and they don't need to. I mean, the great thing about Firefox OS is that you can get those smartphone features. You've got integrated email, you've got integrated calendaring, but you don't have to package it for a first world only market. So that's something that our partners have been very excited by, and something we're pretty excited about internally as well.
Firefox OS can work with a single core processor?
Yeah, it's running on quite affordable hardware. As for the particulars of like this device or any of the other devices, if you walk around the manufacturers' booths, they'll all be demoing their version of the hardware. And then the other thing that Jay mentioned when he was up on stage is that we've got this integrated dynamic search. Now this might not work so well without internet access in this building, but this lets us do things like, you know, if I'm going to a U2 concert and I want a bunch of applications related to that, things that I wouldn't necessarily install all the time, but things that are relevant to my interest in the moment, I can search for U2 and I can see a bunch of customized apps that are really specific to that. So if I'm a SoundCloud user, I can tap on that and really quickly, as the data will deliver it, get a customized app that shows me the U2 stuff that I care about, either for a single use, or if I want, I can go back, I can choose that search and choose to add it to my home screen directly so that it becomes an app. And this is the trick. When people ask us about you know, how are you going to compete with the two established ecosystems right now? How are you going to introduce a third one? We sort of chuckle because we're not introducing a third one. The web has been an ecosystem for longer than there's been an Apple App Store or an Android one. All we're doing is taking the power of the web and the innovation of 15 years there and putting it on the device. Obviously, we've made some key partnerships. Maps are really important on a smartphone, and so we've partnered with Nokia to use Nokia Here as our mapping solution, and as you saw during the press conference, there's great detail in this mapping solution. We're really happy with what we've got there. And again, everything you're seeing is just HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS.
So if I want, I can use Google Maps website as an app?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, whether it's added to the home screen or not is really a decision that Google or MapQuest or any other mapping provider makes. Do they want to do the work necessary to turn it into an app? But since they're built using the web already, the work involved there is actually really straightforward.
Okay.
Do me a favor, I need an over-shoulder shot from the thing before.
Certainly.
You have the other mobile phone?
I do, yeah.
Okay. This one in your left hand and this in your right hand, please.
Sure.